Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. Thank you all for being here. When I was a younger man, the country wasn't going too well, and one night it really culminated in something, and I remember my daddy praying, said, Lord, at the blessing, he just said, Lord, please don't let us lose our country. That's the prayer I'll be making tonight after hearing this testimony, because this just really, it sickens me. And Mr. Ziegler, I know you're a man of faith. Mr. Shapley, I guess after tonight, maybe you are or you aren't. I'm not sure where it will drive you, but I will be remembering y'all in my prayers. And Mr. Ziegler, and I appreciate y'all's incredible courage. It takes a lot of guts to get up here and put your families and your spouses through all this garbage, and it's not right. And thank y'all sincerely.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ziegler, it's also come to my attention that today, after this hearing was already underway, apparently Oppo research is circulating from, quote, Hunter Biden's legal team, unquote, suggestions that you had leaked SARS and other investigative information to someone who had released that information online. Is there a statement that you'd like to make about whether you have leaked any investigative information to someone to reveal on the internet? And I'm sure Hunter Biden's legal team, who's obviously watching right now, and these dirt bags are trying to smear you through the press, and it's disgusting. And I'd appreciate hearing a direct answer from you, brother.
So there's two parts to this. There was that release of that bank report. My name was listed in there. So my name was out in the public as one of the IRS agents working this case, and that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So that came out. And then on top of that, me and my husband were in a report that's out on social media, on Twitter, by a person with the same last name that I have, who I've never met, I've never turned over information to. We just happen to have the same last name, okay?
Right.
I was, for my sexuality, my sexual orientation, my husband was put out there, like, information related to me. So it was in an effort to discredit me, that I'm this person working for the liberal side, and I must be a plant. And it was awful, the things that they were saying about me. But I can tell you that I've never turned over any information regarding this case to anyone related to that Marco Polo report or someone with the same last name that I have.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, and I'm sorry
Thank you so much, sir.
You and your husband had to go through all that misery. Mr. Ziegler, also, how much do you think Hunter Biden and his business associates receive from the Burisma board?
I'm going to need to refer to my transcripts, so if you give me 2
How about this? How about if I just help you out? $666,667. Does that sound about right?
So is that a monthly transfer?
I'm not sure. I just, well, if it's a monthly transfer, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Burisma paid to everyone involved $6.5 million.
Okay, okay. And when did Hunter leave the Burisma board?
Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
It's not in the confines of my transcript, so that would be something I'd have to turn over to the House Ways and Means.
I'd like to get that. Was the money you think received from Burisma sent directly to Hunter Biden in 2014 and 15?
It was not. It was sent to an entity called Rosemont Seneca Bohai.
Okay. Why would they do that? And why would they why would they send it to his business partner, Devin Archer? Was it and all that?
So I can talk about my normal experience. What I've hold on 1 second.
Give me a couple seconds.
So I can provide this in an additional testimony to the House Ways and Means Committee to explain that.
Okay, I'd like to get that. Mr. Ziegler, also, Rosemont Seneca Bohai, they didn't do anything. They didn't produce anything. Skinny Atlas, they didn't obviously do anything. Owasco did not do anything. Hudson West 3 didn't do anything. But are all these Hunter Biden affiliated companies, to your best of your recollection?
I believe I referenced in my testimony that I knew of those,
okay,
but I didn't reference how I knew of them.
Okay. Well, I guess And I should have directed that at Mr. Shapley, I believe. But my point is, you're familiar with these companies, but have you ever been able to identify what the Bidens did here in the business of selling, or what they did with these companies? Either one of y'all, Mr. Shapley.
Again, I'm going to have to, the response to that, the reason why some of these payments were received, we can turn over as a part of an additional testimony.
I guess my point is they didn't sell tough steaks or crappy ties. They sold influence, in my opinion. And I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman. I apologize. I would like to close and say, if a buddy of mine, Rob Delosier, texted me during all this and said, I hope y'all get to the bottom of this, and I hope y'all do something about it. So that would be my wish for this committee. Thank you guys so much. God
That's
bless
the goal. Thank you. Chair now recognizes Mr. Fry for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ziegler, Mr. Shapley, were you able to pursue this investigation in areas that may implicate the president's involvement in his family's businesses?
We were hindered from following that line of investigative steps.
Would you echo that, Mr. Ziegler?
Yeah, specifically in my testimony, I referenced the campaign.
In 2020, President Biden, candidate Biden at the time, said during a debate, and I'm going to quote, "My son has not made any money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China? I have not had, the only guy who made money from China is this guy, Donald Trump. He's the only one. Nobody else has made any money from China." Mr. Ziegler, was the president telling the truth when he said that his son, Hunter Biden, had not made any money from China?
So I don't know what the president at the time was thinking, but what I can tell you based on what I testified in my transcript, that he did earn money from China.
Right. And in March of 2023, just a couple months ago, the committee showed through bank records that Hunter Biden, the president's son, James Biden, Hallie Biden, all received money originating from China, funneled through Robinson Walker, LLC, a company owned by Rob Walker, who's a well-known Biden associate. When presented with this evidence by a reporter, the president said, "That's not true." Mr. Ziegler, is it true that the president's family received money originating from China, which was funneled through the Robinson Walker account?
That is correct.
As it pertains to the Hunter Biden investigation, Mr. Shapley, you sat on a meeting on October 7th, 2022 with Mr. Weiss. You testified to that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And later this year, on June 7th, Mr. Weiss publicly stated in a letter to the Judiciary Committee the following, quote, "As the Attorney General has stated, I have been granted ultimate authority over this matter, including responsibility for deciding where, when, and whether to file charges," end quote. That statement is dramatically inconsistent with your recollection of a meeting that happened in October of 2022. Is that correct?
Yes, it corroborated documentation of that meeting clearly shows that that's not accurate.
How is that not accurate from your recollection of that meeting?
Because during that meeting, United States Attorney Weiss said that he, wasn't a deciding person, said it right out, and he further went in that the Department of Justice Tax Division had to approve any charges first, to which, as of March 16, 2023, we know that they had not approved anything yet. He further goes and says that the D.C. U.S. Attorney had declined to allow charges to be brought there, and that he requested special counsel authority around that time and was denied and was told to follow the process. That process would lead him to another President Biden-appointed U.S. Attorney in the Central District of California, and he told us at that meeting on October 7, 2022, that if California declined it, that he would have to request a special authority again.
Right. So during that meeting and in subsequent letters that Mr. Weiss produced to both Senator Graham and to the Judiciary Committee, he seems to corroborate that meeting or some of the facts from that meeting that maybe he didn't have that authority, right?
So, yes, the second letter on June 30th clearly shows that he's saying that he has full authority, he has ultimate authority.
Right.
He immediately goes in and says that, but my authority is geographically limited. I don't understand how you can conclude any way from that statement in the June 30th letter that he has full authority.
Correct.
It's just simply not accurate.
Correct. And that was something that you saw early on, or y'all saw as a potential problem. Mr. Ziegler, if the U.S. Attorney Weiss could not gain special counsel authority, what options remained in bringing charges against Hunter Biden in California or in the District of Columbia?
So I guess it would have been the special attorney authority that I've seen recently referenced. But I mean, essentially when DC said no, and we know that DC said no, we were having conversations with our FBI counterparts of how do we bring in a special counsel into this situation. I think that like once we knew that there was going to be potential problems with going to President Biden appointees, with moving this case forward, we were actively trying to figure out how as agents do we get that to happen. And still to this day, there is not a special counsel assigned to this investigation.
Right, so the approach was, and I got to go quickly here, but the approach was to go to D.C. With Matthew Graves, where he was not able to bring charges under a Biden appointee. He went to the Central District of California. Mr. Estrada was not able to bring charges. So to both of you, in conclusion, in relation to the U.S. Attorney's inability to obtain that special counsel authority and bring these cases in either California or D.C., do you agree with Attorney General Garland's testimony that, quote, the United States Attorney Weiss has been advised that he has full authority to bring cases in other districts if he needs to do that?
I don't believe that's accurate.
And I think the key word there is he has, and I don't think that that's accurate, and I think that that's refuted in the later letter by U.S. Attorney David Weiss.
Thank you both. In conclusion, thank you both for being here, for your bravery in testifying today. I know it's not been easy on you or your family, but the American people and this committee appreciate the work that you do, that you continue to do, and the truth that you're shedding light on. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Yield back. Chair recognizes Mr. Edwards from North Carolina for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr.
vào lòng nhau, má kề bên vai ta nhắc chuyện ngày qua, cho mối duyên thêm đậm đà. Anh ơi, nếu mà sau này giấc mộng không thành thì đành đôi ngã chia ly, chớ đừng ưu sầu lãng chi. Anh ơi anh hỡi, duyên tình dù có thương đau, nhưng lòng ta mãi yêu nhau, cho thời gian không úa màu. Anh ơi anh hỡi, xuân về nào có đâu xa, nếu mà mỏi gối bồn ba, anh về nối lại tình ta. Anh ơi, nếu còn yêu nhau nhé, đừng gặp nhau cho luyến lưu khi biệt ly, thêm vấn vương mà làm gì. Anh ơi, có ngờ đâu rằng khúc nhạc chưa tàn mà vội xa cách. Anh ơi đôi ngả biết tìm về đâu. đừng gặp nhau cho luyến lưu khi biệt ly, thêm vấn vương mà làm gì. Anh ơi, có ngờ đâu rằng khúc nhạc chưa tàn mà vội xa cách anh ơi, đôi ngả biết tìm về đâu. Anh ơi, có ngờ đâu rằng khúc nhạc chưa tàn mà vội xa cách anh ơi, đôi ngả biết tìm về đâu.